And welcome back to the Marriott Bonvoy post-game check-in with Jackies for the first time in summer. 5 times a charm, I guess? But you were so close even before the previous game, so what was the deciding factor here today?
I think for sure our calmness in the game, because first 4 games we were for sure more hectic, like everyone was talking. But this game, it was complete different team, I think. We were so calm and so composed, and I think it kind of showed on the Rift as well, because I think it was a, okay, not clean game, but a bit cleaner.
Yeah, still, we take it. And a win is a win, and you have to open up the score, especially given how fast the season goes. But you also had to introduce 2 new members to the team. How have you been composing with these elements? And what should be Giant X in summer with these 2 new players? What do you want them to be?
I think we did really well with adapting to the new players. I think Antonio is doing really well. And Juan especially, I think he's kind of smurfing lately. But GX in summer, well, I hope we don't go AFE again. That would be kind of sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we can make it, but we just need to keep working for sure.
For sure, and we see some improvements on the team, and yourself as well, Jackies. You're the key player of the game today, but I think it goes to show everything you've been showcasing so far in summer. It shows in the game, it shows outside the game, the confidence is here. How do you feel right now?
Well, I feel really good finally winning, you know. I felt kind of like sad and on the limit a bit that for the first 4 games I felt like I did really good, but the win was not there, you know. So I felt really bad, but this win like restored my hope, and now we can do a lot.
Yeah, keep that confidence. Hopefully many more for you guys. Thank you so much for the interview and good luck in week 3. And over to you guys for match of the week.
SK versus Fnatic, El Clasico. From a time where we were still warriors, no empowered recalls, we could cancel our teleports. A backdoor was still a backdoor.
All right, Sjoks, that's okay. The future is now. SK, Fnatic, El Clasico. Okay, we've heard about that in the past, but the future is now. You were right about one thing though, and that is Fnatic. Fantastic team right now. They had the best medicine for an MSI hangover. They look like the best team in Europe, and you know what? They have the best bot lane in Europe as well right now. They're looking fantastic.
Guldborg. Denmark can't even handle spicy Korean noodles. How are you expecting to handle a good Korean bot lane? Rahel and Luon are the best bot lane in the league right now, and you are trolling if you think otherwise.
Okay, I have video proof, okay? Let's get into the 4K evidence in the back of me right now. Roll the clips right now. 2v3 down to the bot lane. Yeah, that's a man coming down, but we also have Razork. We take that, but it's the fact that Razork knows where the real win condition is. It's down in the bot lane. And as you can see right now on your screen, they know exactly what to do with those resources. Look at Noah. He did what any sensible human being should do. He deleted social media, and look what he's able to do now. Fantastic performance from both Jun and him right now. This is fantastic. We can even get rid of the clips right now. I want to see his stats, because his stats is the most impressive thing about Noah right now. Look at the CSD at 14. What does that say? 102. I've never seen that before.
I'm sorry, Guldborg. I didn't realize we were allowed to just use stats to bring up a fake narrative. Noah has only played against Sennas. I'm sorry, if you put me against a Senna, I could get 100 CSD at 15 minutes anyway. The people we have to look at are Rahel and Luon. Rahel, especially on the Kaiser yesterday, was a Korean sniper. He did not miss. He has over 800 damage per minute on average, 3rd in the league, by the way. He has the highest CS per minute of any AD carry in the league as well. And he's got 3 solo kills. I'd like to see another AD carry do that. Alongside him, Luon keeps performing. He's showing up at every possible opportunity, fighting against BDS to steal away that Baron. I'm sorry, Noah and Jun are old news. They've been in the LEC for at least a split. They're basically natives by now.
Look at the back of you right now. I'm seeing a negative stat, okay? You know, on the side of Fnatic, we only have positives. There is no negatives for Fnatic. The best team in the league right now. Best
Fnatic are old news. It's all about SK right now.
They're the best thing to go for.
I'm sorry, Luon is just too good.
Match of the week, stop bickering!
Fnatic #1!
Guys, simmer down. It's okay. We'll sort it out on the rip. We'll sort out where the real stuff takes place. Eragon, Hysterics, and thank you very much, Sjoks. Nice wig. True. I don't know where the cane came from as well, but I'll be needing one of those next year as well. Let's get into it, though, because SK Fnatic, this is where the business starts, as I said before. This is going to be the undefeated team leading us out of week 2. And with G2 in their slump, yes, slowly rising, but still a slump nevertheless in their MSI hangover, we find out who the best team in Europe is at the halfway point in summer.
The best team in the league, the best bot lane in the league. There's so much on the line, I feel like, and pretty much a guaranteed spot in playoffs, I feel like.
It is, yeah. I mean, as it's been said before, Five has never not secured a team in playoffs. So we're looking at our first team secured in all but the contingency plan on something like Leaguepedia. It doesn't matter. SK for me, let's just start there because this team has been on the up and up. We've always had early starts for SK this year, but it's never really followed through to them being a top playoff team. The bot lane changes and you're starting to see some insanity out of this team in what can only be described as like, I think the best bot lane that Europe has seen in a long while, consistently throughout a split. It's a big thing to say, but if it keeps going like this, I think it will become fact.
I mean, I think the biggest thing is Rahel and Luon have brought direction. They love playing through bot side in these early games especially. I mean, last series, yesterday, we saw Kai'Sa Alistar, which is kind of a muted bot lane. They scale up and then become a threat later on. And when they weren't able to dictate the flow of the game on something like a Varus and Ashe, I felt like SK were a bit more lost. They weren't weak, they were just weaker. So I want to see how they play if champions like Lucian and Varus and Ashe are targeted from Fnatic.
I need to clarify because I just had a think here. Gee, Summer and Mickey are fantastic. Don't get me wrong, guys, don't get me wrong. I think the most important takeaway is the fact that we have bot laners who not only can compete with that, but look like the sky's the limit with such a huge ceiling. My biggest point is that right now they are changing the way we're thinking about bot laners in this league as we get into pick ban, SK on the blue side, Fnatic on red. Now LeBlanc taken away from Humanoid is the start here, as we also need to remember that these two mid laners are paramount to the league as well.
Tristiana Corki immediately priority. I feel like Humanoid already taken away from the LeBlanc. Skarner priority as well. With Corki off the table, man, Tristiana will be priority. But like I said, for Fnatic, I think you have to deny Varus, Ashe, Kalista, that kind of all pairing, taking it away now because Rahel and Luon have looked so damn good on it. And when you give them agency down bot side, my eyes are also on Kalista, Renata. If SK feel like unstoppable.
Yeah, they can still play that. I mean, again, there's more possibilities with this bot lane as well. But Noah and Jun, we can mention them in a little bit as well. I think that the takeaways from them are going to be important too, considering that this duo over the course of this year has also been paramount. Jun especially been one of my favorite players in the whole of LEC until Luon came along. It's like a competition of love, isn't it? Well, first pick, what's it going to be? Corki taken away, Ashe taken away, Rumble taken away. Tristana priority is there for SK, and that mirrors what we see a lot in the LPL and LCK.
Now, Razork has been on the Ivan hype train as well, but I don't think you go Ivan with the Hwei. I think that pairing isn't that great unless you're playing this like really muted front-to-back composition, which I don't want to see. Typically from Fnatic, we see a bunch of playing through mid-jungle. Pairings like Xin Zhao plus Hwei isn't that bad for the front-to-back, but there's Varus immediately off the table. That breaks up the Varus potential Kalista duo. And now, what does Rahel and Luon have for us?
I think as well, not only in MSI, but in previous splits, I think Noah's one of his best has been Varus. That's what I'm starting to think of him as well. Hasn't picked it up this split. It's been more about the Corki, Aphelios, Zeri, but you ask the question, what are we going to see on the other side? With the Maokai as well for Isma, also this year has been one of his best champions alongside the role when it was in the jungle. Let's find out that answer now.
Sejuani, Maokai, Rel, these feel like Isma classics at this point. They love to play with Isma shattering mid lane, and there's
like
the Ezreal
as well.
You were watching Ezreal this morning, JG.
I was, oh bro, but Pays was insane. Are we just going to see another Korean Ezreal do it better?
Love to see it. I mean, I feel like Ezreal right now, a bit of a slow starter, but it's picked into Varus, picked into Jhin this morning by Gen G. See if Rahel can pull it off as well.
I mean, there's a lot more range this time around with the Nautilus lockdown as well. Point and click exists now here for Fnatic as we go towards the next ban.
So now I imagine Braum ban could be good for Fnatic, Alistar as well, but instead they're going to ban away Engage. That makes sense. They want more Engage with the Maokai ultimate to follow on top of that. It's just that Braum and Alistar are pretty good into the Nautilus. And on the other side, you really do want to pitch junglers. Sejuani comes to mind.
But can we just quickly talk about supports, bro? You are saying Leona is so good right now, no matter what the matchup, right? Like, Leona is just far and few between. Feels like one of the best supports of the patch. If ever so hidden.
Yeah, I think the best engaged supports are Leona, Rel,
Yeah,
and
they
Nautilus.
know.
There you go.
Fnatic
with
know.
the prediction. And now you're kind of forced to go less engaged. I feel like Alistair just isn't as quite high tier as Nautilus, Rel, and Leona, but it's good in isolation, and probably pick that up. Or the Braum for that anti-Nautilus, you know, vibe.
As you said, one of the few left available, excuse me. Now, range top lane is getting taken off the board, even though other regions are looking at it less and less.
Yeah, so when you draft these like double AD carry crit front-to-back compositions, you want frontline, essentially. It doesn't matter that you're full AD if you have frontline, because double AD carry does not get outscaled. So they're setting up for a Cassante right now with that TF ban, and they're fishing for it now. Do Fnatic deny the Cassante for Oscarinin? And then what do SK have into that? That's the question.
I mean, for Oscar, he was a big Cassante merchant in previous splits as well. Sorry to use that word, the first thing that came to mind. Razork, if we are talking about people that sell goods, his Xin Zhao, I would buy anything off because it is bloody good.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned right at the start of draft, right? Pairings, mid-jungle. Hwei works really well with Xin Zhao because he's fantastic in these front-to-back scenarios. Vi also works as well, but Razork on this early game jungle can be fantastic in the team fights.
Or the Renekton is set, though.
That's a great pick, because Renekton's good into Cassante, which is also open.
Sorry, without context, the Renekton OTP next to me, it's 400 LP Masters. That's a great pick. I love Renekton. No, you're right. It is not bad in Cassante. So again, denies something?
450 LP.
Oh, sorry. Very sorry.
But now support-wise, what do they want? Braum, Alistair, I think, are your premier picks, and there's the Braum now. I think they lack a bit of engage. That's my only problem with SK Gaming's draft, and that's why I think the Rel and the Leona bans are fantastic. They only have Maokai for engage or a flash W from a Maokai. Other than that, they don't really have anything. So it's going to be a little rough to start fights, whereas Fnatic's composition feels a little bit more well-rounded. You have the Varus and the Nautilus there. And now what do you have into the Renekton? Gragas is great. I think Kennen's fantastic.
Oh, yeah?
It's really up to Oscarinin.
As you said, Cassante, if you want to lose a matchup and win the game.
Cassante, lose a matchup, wins game. That's also another tank for the front to back.
Yeah, another annoying one. Not as annoying as the Skarner, but still for Oscarinin. As I said, this year has been pretty good on it. And for Fnatic, that rounds it out. Now, as you said, build up of a front line here. They've got a good engage themselves. Bit of range as well. Feels like a nice, well-rounded composition for Fnatic, where there's a lot of pivoting that they can do depending what happens mid, what happens bot.
Yeah, lots of plays to be made now on bot side, and it feels like just front to back for both teams. This could be a slower start with Maokai just full clearing and maybe some plays from Razork in the early game, but it will be definitely down to teamfight execution.
Bro, slower start. These two guys are like behemoths of the early game. We'll talk about that in a second, but man, these guys both love it, and I feel like two of our better, or maybe best early game teams in the league. It is nice to see, though, again, you know, that bottom lane matchup we're talking about. There is a bit of volatility, I guess, expecting the Ezreal, the Varus, right? There is a lot of 2v2 actions that can come out. You said slower, but when I look at SK, when I look at Fnatic this split, I don't think slow is the name of the game, is it? I'm excited to get into this one. Our match of the week, delivered by Uber Eats. I am getting hungry for this. Please deliver a banger. I don't care what the fee is, I'm down, I'll pay it. Get off your phone, sir. Get off it. It's time to go into game. Off your phone. And with a beverage in hand, we warm ourselves up. Excited, the crowd came out for this, and honestly, worth every penny for this game. When I think SK early start, I think it falls off. But I'm ready for my mind to be changed this split with a new bot lane, a new innovation. Going up against Fnatic, Noah and Jun. They were the OG.
Yeah. Now, I wonder if there's going to be any kind of level 1 shenanigans. You have Braum, Luon, aggressive support. Let's see if there's any kind of level 1, maybe potentially invading. You have double AD carry. Ezreal's phenomenal in the early game as well, but it looks like it's going to be a standard 5-point. So, kind of disappointed in that. If we were going to get early action, it would have been out of that. So.
Sure, it would have been as well. So let's kick this off by talking about what these teams do really well. And I think early game Eragon is where we have to start, right? Because while these teams, historically, whether it's through mid-jungle and like Fnatic, whether we look towards bottom lane for SK throughout where the attention's been in the past 4 games, we need to look at where the success lies and how good their early game is, however skewed.
Yeah, I mean, so the big thing is that I wanted to bring up stats for Rahel in particular. And the reason for this is it's not just that he looks really good. It's that the whole of SK give him and funnel him so much damn farm. He has by far the highest farm percentage of any AD carry in the league. It's like 36% of all the CS on the team goes to Rahel. The next highest in the league, I can't remember exactly who it is, but it's 30%. It's such a big jump, and now, of course, there are all these Senna dynamics.
Well, that's why it's skewed, right?
It's skewed. But
Okay.
Rahel really does get a bunch of CS, and SK do believe in him.
And we are going to start fighting on that. So while we skew some stats and move in the right direction, Isma is going on in Twisted Advance, and SK getting a low jungler. But in our match of the week, we fire off a bullet. It's Nisqy now getting low as well. I think he's just dead. Bramble Smash saves his life for the time being, but as he flashes away towards a blast cone, he hovers on the edge. Irrelevant as a level 1 Renekton looks for his Fury to help him up. He flashes too, and Fnatic still chasing through. They take a blast cone. They deceive them. They push over and get first blood. A 1-for-1 is irrelevant. He started slice and dice. He's done his damage. He's done his job. He's with flashes into Oscarinin. Both at 1 HP. And Humanoid, all he needs is a bit of range. A severing bolt from downtown. And Isma will be no more. Fnatic boil their blood with blood of their own.
It's a 2-for-1. Nisqy can't finish off Oscarinin. So many flashes burned. They tried to invade with Maokai. Maokai's so good at sealing away the Wraiths, but in the end, it's Fnatic favored.
That's why we talked about early game. I know we talk about bot, but hey, it's the whole damn team. It's on the Humanoid. Nisqy tries to get something, and it's level 2 first. Humanoid going to be blown away a bit, but remember, he has TP. Nisqy does not, so Nisqy naturally with an advantage to get the push out in this lane.
Take a look at Isma. He thinks, you know, maybe I can punish this low HP Humanoid. Instead, he's going to invade. With that mid-prior from the Tristiana, he's going to go look for an invade onto Xin Zhao's blue buff. Isma already stealing away, proactively using the priority down bot side and in mid.
And with usual the Mad Lion spam as well, paying homage as well towards his mid laner as Isma pushes this away, waiting for the Bramble Smash smite. There it is. He's going to go for Gromp as well here, Eragon, so the invade continues where you can see Razork is trying to make the opposite move.
Yeah, but take a look at this. They're guarding the cross map. Nisqy can do a bunch of work here. It's only a level 2 Razork. Now his champion does do a bunch of damage. Will Irrelevant collapse as well? Or is Nisqy going to give this up?
The wave's in a bad spot. As you said, we're just going to wait and see. Razork, is he coming out of the bush? I mean, for blue buff, no, it's not there. Now he has to rocket jump away. And there will be no follow-up from Fnatic as they successfully get through.
Okay, so let's take stock. I think it's really important. There's too much happening right now. So no flashes for Humanoid and Razork, and no flashes for Nisqy and Isma and Renekton as well, irrelevant. So it's looking like there could be plays around mid lane potentially, especially onto Humanoid, that squishy control mage who is very immobile. That's a flash W potentially off cooldown from Isma.
Oh, actually, on his way out as well. No, Razork not chasing him out. Wind becomes lightning is not going to connect, and Isma going to get the scuttle crab here as well. And you can see slight advantage here, 400 gold to build on that as he goes back to his own jungle. He's got a full bot side to clear here, Eragon.
What an odd early game, I have to say. Now he gets his full bot side clear. Only a blue buff taken by Razork in the invade, whereas Isma managed to take absolutely everything else, including the Wolves and the Gromp. So Isma coming out ahead in this trade, and whilst it won't mean that much, both champions essentially just going to function as frontline for their team in the front-to-back scenarios later on. It is a small lead.
This Humanoid has a mega wave. Let's just pay attention to this, because any other time I'd say, you know, what can you achieve bot? What can you look at top? Because it's such a chaotic early game, with such a wave that gets pushed out, eventually matching out by Nisqy. He has to stay in lane, wait for the next. Nothing can be done with it.
Some rough CS prep on the tower there by Nisqy. A couple minions lost, but remember, flashless Humanoid, irrelevant Caesar.
Oh, he doesn't have his flash of his own, but it is a slice and dice croc, and here we go. Onto this way. His painting days are over. Kill is over to Nisqy, and Tristiana now matching out that lead.
And usually you'd see Isma flash Wing on Maokai for that kill, but irrelevant in this matchup, gets priority, crashes a big wave, runs down, sees the roam timer, and Luon also comes, so team play from SK.
I mean, Luon has already been out of his lane a couple of times now as well. Let's not forget the bonus of Ezreal being back in the meta. He's a really good 1v2 AD carry. Bit of added mobility there that can survive on his lonesome, so as Rahel stays in bottom lane with the barrier, bursting Noah, our bot laners are on the move in the other regard. Jun and Luon hovering around mid, going back and forth.
It definitely feels a little bit rough for Razork here. He doesn't really have that many options. His bot side 3v3 isn't winning because of the power of the Braum versus melees. And then mid lane, immobile mage, you don't really have that much setup as well. So Razork just feels like a kind of a bit of a passenger in this game, I won't lie.
Fair enough. For the time being, at least he starts the dragon, right? But Isma's there to match. He's a level up. He's 700 gold up. This tree is literally... I'm sorry to the Lord of the Rings fans. Greybeard? No. What's his name? What's the big ant? You're a nerd, aren't you? Come on.
Treebeard? Is that...
Nice! And even my producer's like, Treebeard. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's been a while. Every year you get to that point where you're like, I gotta watch Lord of the Rings again. Harry Potter fans will know. Every year you're like, oh, you're gonna watch that again. There's just some movies that you just gotta go, yeah, we're gonna rewatch this. Spend 9 hours of our life as Dragon. Now gonna be taken by SK. That pressure that came from Isma while I was rambling away is just pressing through, and Fnatic are sent backwards.
And it's mid lane prio as well for Nisqy here on the Tristiana. That's why the pick is so damn powerful. Often Humanoid, or Hwei rather in particular, can contest prio with the Rumble ulti-like spell. But because of all the early attention, he doesn't really have it. Now that prio in the mid lane can convert into grubs as well if they so choose. Isma can run over there, but Razork's gonna get there first.
Rahel stuck in a lane that's slowly pushing out to him. As you said, grubs is gonna be the important move here. Luon making the move, and
it really should be SK's. They have Renekton topside and a Tristiana. This is just priority central. That crab is going to go down.
It depends with mid because spiraling despair. Nisqy jumps in anyway. Humanoid used the kit, the flash back. Luon's roam is great. It sends up with the concussive blows and over the wall with the ignite. Nisqy gets the last hit. That was a clutch play in mechanics with the support by his side.
Luon with the roams to mid lane, leaving the Ezreal, like you highlighted, so good at staying isolated. Now, will it be dove? The answer is no. Rahel playing as safe, and they understand when one lane should play safe so that Luon could roam. Really well played by Rahel as well.
Wave's still going to be able to be absorbed. The least Fnatic get here is a turret plate in the bottom side. So for the kill, if you want to do the Bal's maths, you're okay there. But meanwhile, SK are cheering with a 1k gold lead, 2 grubs in their back pocket, and the first dragon. I've seen this story already before in our last match with Giant X, and it is central objectives that are just being picked up left and right for SK.
Surprised Nisqy doesn't commit TP here. Doesn't value the grub enough to commit a teleport. I think they could have secured that if he did. Regardless, only 1 grub going to Fnatic.
Yeah, and they need 4 now. I guess you don't care, right?
Yeah, I suppose you can also pick up 5. 6 is still really, really strong now.
So
but
you can count. That's good.
That's true. But take a look at Luon. He just opens up through mid. There's no dive potential down bot side, so no opportunity for a cross map. Nisqy takes a huge ultimate to the face, but then the insect comes in. And there's the Q. Humanoid flashes it, but it's too little, too late.
And just ignites over the wall.
Yeah.
Nisqy hits him as well.
Nicely played.
Absolutely brilliant from the support of SK. I just know, again, been trying to understand the minds of these players. Now, we do have... Hold for this.
아무것도 못하죠?
You can't do nothing. I'm not going to try and repeat that one because already my career's going to be that much worse. We have something special in mind since we had the Korean v Korean bot lane. Thank you for the surprise.
I forgot that was going to happen.
And we've got a bit of a learning experience for people while we learn what this 2v2 bot looks like. Especially with Rahel and Luon moving into the league. We're going to learn in the meantime a little bit of our Korean.
Every now and then, dropping in some Korean phrases.
Yeah, that's right. You can't do nothing, that's right. Luon is stuck with mid. He's everywhere so far. It's only been 3 kills, but 2 of those have been with Luon's help. So, again, as Rahel sits in this solo lane, Luon is always on the move. Only level 5, avoids Jun in brush. And as Jun now has himself an attempted dredge line trying to protect that arcane shift, he can't get the hit.
Nerves of steel. I mean, I have to say, you don't see many playmaking Braums. I'm going to be real with you. This champion, it doesn't really do that much proactive. But Luon is making it work with these roams to mid lane.
No.
The flashless Humanoid on this Hwei. Going to avoid out on the Maokai ultimate. Ooh.
So spiraling despair comes through as well. That was for Isma's ult as well, by the way. It's nice for Humanoid to hold his nerve, but he didn't exactly have a flash to get away.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be a roam up to mid from the Nautilus. From Jun, rather.
I just thought you were getting excited because we got a camera on Irrelevant and Oscarinin. You like this lane, I know indeed. Dominus is available. It's going to be used in response. Oscarinen's damage is big, but I'm waiting for Cole to make slice and dice out the flip, out of range. Irrelevant survives.
Yeah, so this matchup, Renekton really beefs the Cassante for a long time. As long as Renekton can double E away, tag the E1 on the backside, then he can always escape an all-in. But if he doesn't have E, then that's where it's problematic. Now Oscarinin is out of mana. It's really rough game state. He's frozen on as well. He's going to have to commit the TP here.
I was going to say, the wave is rough. Look at the CS difference. We're spending all this time looking at the Korean bottom lane and getting our language up. But man, what language does Crocodile speak? Because this dude is 40 up, 500 gold. And as you said, the wave is in a brilliant spot, now equalizing out.
I wonder how much the level 1 affected that lane, because this is a much bigger lead than you should get.
Oh, yeah.
You should go down a little bit, maybe a plate or 2, but not this much.
No.
This is almost doubling the CS here. Irrelevant playing extremely well. 1 item now. It's only components.
Well, Fnatic making the cross-map play. For the time being, as they pick up the red buff, at least getting something here. And remember that Noah's early game has been pretty good. He's got a small lead here. Might not be CS, but it is gold. And it's because he's picked up some of the plating as well. He's also just got an opportunity. So a big spike here on the one-item lethality Varus. Again, for Fnatic, are hoping plays through this early to mid-game.
Fortunately for Humanoid now, he's going to have flash, so any kind of play he is not too vulnerable from. My eyes are on top lane. This is such a huge amount of lead for Irrelevant right now. Any kind of all-in if they could force it. No goes for Oscarinin.
He's got Black Cleaver as well now, by the way.
He can just walk up and W if he likes for a big trade.
Does the build-up of Thornmail even matter here? You know, the Bramble Vest, does it actually make a difference?
So the way you should view item thresholds and matchup swings, if an item counters someone, that's great. But if they get it whilst they're so far behind, that spike isn't even a spike anymore. So the Thornmail might come in, but if you're on 1.5 items for the Renekton, it won't matter.
And especially when that Black Cleaver is going to shred armor. Didn't it get a buff in the last patch as well, and now shreds a little bit more?
Yeah, right. So it got buffed when it was already a really strong item, and it just completely swings top lane tank matchups. So Oscarinin might be in trouble, but Fnatic going to pick up a dragon.
Just like Ezreal's getting a buff next patch as well, already being this strong as Oscarinin going to get altered on by Irrelevant. Again, showing his fortitude as Dominance comes out and Nisqy moves up.
Oscarinin, this is absolutely brutal. You could see the whole of Fnatic is coming up to try and escort him to this wave. Jun is coming too, but Irrelevant is so strong. Now he doesn't have the ultimate damage.
Ooh.
Does have 100 Fury.
Fnatic are going to be there first. For the turret plate, is it going to be worth it? Jun runs into the croc without Dominus, so remember as Oscarinin jumps into him first. Depth charge, everything in the kitchen sink, and the kill going to Noah. Fnatic there first, that's what we'll remember. As a double knockup for the Glacial Fissure is big as well. The damage onto Noah shifts gear into Razork. A flip back, not what you want because the flash now comes out from Jun, and the concussive bite, the winter blow, and everything. Oh no! Fnatic running for their life. A great counterplay, and when Luon is involved on this Braum, it just makes a different story.
Yeah, Hwei is down bot side. All that firepower from your mid laner isn't there. Nisqy is so damn strong in these fights, gets a bunch of resets, and with everything committed onto Irrelevant, who you might argue overstayed a little bit, all the cooldowns are gone, and Nisqy just cleans up.
Well, it's Farmville for Rahel in the meantime. Good damage from Humanoid. Pacing him out. He might actually have to back away. He's one shot away. But Grubs are going to go to SK after the bounce back from that play as well. So Eragon, that's 4, maybe 5 Grubs here in the early game. SK with a Tristiana and a Renekton.
Yeah.
That's a good time to cheer.
I mean, this is a Grub comp if I've ever seen one.
Yep.
The amount of plays you can make now on the 1-3-1 is insane. Tristana unmatchable in the side lane. I don't see anyone holding it. Maybe the Hwei wave clear.
And it's something that... Oh, hang on. Let's learn again. We
Jungle
wait.
Chai.
Oh, Jungle Chai. Okay, thank you very much to Rahel. Jungle Diff. Is it a Jungle Diff game? I mean, Isma's playing out of his mind. And Razork, I mean, what can he do with these lanes? I think that's a big question we've been asking you through as well. I'm glad. I mean, you know, I feel lazy because I didn't ask Laure. I'm trying to think who else knows Korean in the team. I didn't ask to learn, you know, last year at Worlds as well. I tried to learn some. I know Anahaseo. I know Kamsamnida, and I know Sarange, which is I love you. Oh. And that's it, the important words to say to my wife. You know, the important stuff. That's why I'm a good husband. All right, let's look towards the Rift Herald for the meantime, though, because SK are going to be contested here, Eragon. I need you to set me up.
Right. So, honestly, this Rift Herald doesn't matter as much. Third Dragon is on the cards, but the engage comes down. Maokai is very strong.
Guess what they say? It does matter indeed, don't they? Nisqy from an angle as well, but Razork absorbing the pressure. Irrelevant's angle, maybe even bigger. The chains corruption from Nori huge, but it eventually goes to Fnatic. But for SK, they're split far between. Irrelevant left on an island. You said it didn't matter. I believe you, because Fnatic are cheering at SK going to their death.
But Razork there, what happened? He lived for so damn long. That Sundered Sky doing so much work with the ultimate. If we get into a replay of this, take a look how much healing he does. Nisqy manages to get out with that buffer onto the CC.
Don't
but
worry,
a massively winning fight.
We'll get a replay. Here we go.
Take a look at this. Watch Razork. He lives for so long whilst being in the absolute midst of everything. Isma engages. It comes down. All the CC comes through, but he's tanking Ezreal because of the ultimate. It's actually just 1 versus 5-ing.
He really
Razork
is.
flashes the ultimate. And then the flash comes through from Renekton, which is what I gasped at. I thought the fight was over there, but then Razork, he just keeps living the passive healing as well as the Sundered Sky.
We've been talking up Rahel and Luon. Noah's ult there was clutch. It literally in a small corridor hit everyone. At least a threat there from Nisqy and Rahel at the end was too much to bear. So a scattered fight that leaves SK breathless. I mean, the early game was going good, the roams were going good, but Fnatic, that one window, that hero performance from Razork, I've said that before this year, I will say it again. Razork is the heart, it feels like, of this team alongside Humanoid, and seeing him in that play, in that clutch Xin Zhao ulti, gave Fnatic a 2k gold lead in this game, where it felt like there was no life, or at least life was starting to fail.
Absolutely. It feels like Razork and Humanoid, the heart of this team. Anytime they do anything proactive, it comes from them. And Razork managed to make the play work. Now, I do think SK, it's not all doom and gloom. They can play for sides, 6 grubs, or 5 rather. And the ability to play for sides with this Renekton with Demolish as well as the Tristiana means that you can kind of strong side a side if you want to and let them hit with a bunch of vision. See what Maokai decides to do. Isma facilitating this hit, these tower hits, is really important.
It's crazy that those 2 kills and the the gold that they got actually put the top lane even. Oscarinin, even in levels as well, he's still about 50 CS down in the matchup, but Thornmail first, Chain Vest on top of that as well. And right now, Irrelevant being matched in items.
Yeah, lots of pings coming in top side. It looks like they want to cross map and strong side top.
Okay.
Now the question is, does Fnatic identify that? Are they going to send anyone to defend? Because it looks like it's going to be Herald into mid, into Dragon for Fnatic, versus the counterplay of cross mapping top side with the grubs for SK, which is a solid play when you don't think you can take the fight.
Well, it's not a trade, it's just a win here for SK as the turret damage is not enough through mid. And remember, first turret blood already went over to Fnatic. That helps with the inflation of gold, but at least some back now as Nisqy continues to push.
Yeah, is Humanoid going to get caught on the transition here? Now, it looks like he wants to go up there to defend, and he is going to. But Jun accompanies Humanoid so that he doesn't get picked along the way. So, really good solid macro. Humanoid covers the cross map with Jun accompanying him, playing his bodyguard.
Well, Dragon going down at the very least for Fnatic
no.
would be good, but the TP play, your nose are correct because Nisqy's come to play himself. Razork and Noah on it, but he goes to Noah straight away, disengages, flashes through. Nisqy in the thick of it. Wow, gets pulled back though, and will he get punished? The question is Razork's 5-man ulti again comes into value. The poke, the range, Fnatic are looking to play it again as Irrelevant is left lonesome, but this time it's not doom and gloom. Rahel keeps poking out. SK do their job this time. They manage to survive the onslaught.
Nisqy with the hero play, but the health bars are too low. Even though they have numbers advantage, SK are going to have to back off and potentially give up this Dragon. Although they can reset really quickly and get on the map again with these portals. Gonna help them cheat tempo. SK can actually cross map on the top side too, but that same point applies to defending top tier 2. They can send someone up top with those portals, and Nisqy has to respect them.
At least getting the push in is enough, right? And again, Dragon going down didn't actually happen because Dragon's still there.
Yeah.
It was pulled off at a very low HP bar, so SK had the option to start it up again, and we might just do this dance once again as well.
No flashes though. Nisqy invested a lot into that play. No teleport and no flash. So any kind of play where he's trying to buffer a bunch of CC and make hero insects is going to be a lot more muted. He isn't going to be able to do that as clearly. But look at all those portals. Everyone's taking him over. No one's going to be late to this fight. It could be another full-blown 5v5.
Irrelevant, as you said, Portal's got to be taken, but he's on the wrong side of the map for now, at least for Fnatic, as they started off the Dragon. They've got more members in a close vicinity.
Yep. Teleport up for Irrelevant, but they're pinging the red buff. It looks like they want to cross-map the red buff instead. That's respawning on the side of Fnatic's jungle, and they're going to settle for that. It's only second Drake.
And as you talking about Nisqy, right, and his side lane plays, as Rahel meets mid, it might be red buff into a push in top. We'll have to see how Fnatic defend this because, again, with those grubs, with the 2-item Tristiana, it feels like top lane is always going to be a threat.
Absolutely. Now red buff going to go down to SK. Are they going to be able to defend it? Now Humanoid is quite strong, 2 items across the board. And those portals are going to help them cheat and get to their jungle quickly.
It does, doesn't it? Oh, it's taken by Isma though.
Can't outsmite Q-smite on Maokai. It does too much damage to monsters.
True.
So going to be a quick secure. Nisqy's going to take all the jungle camps on the top side, and the cross map down bot is going to be defended by Irrelevant. Solid bit of macro, nice cross map onto the initial Dragon.
I mean, again, like, we don't see a lot of teams once they've started their setup for Dragon disengage, right?
Yeah.
This is kind of a top team play where I think we've expected, like, oh, they're around Dragon, it's going to be a fight for sure. The fact that SK could pivot mid-thought and go, well, let's just take everything away, leads them to shorten the goal by about 300-400 in the end. So, as you said, worthwhile since it wasn't sole point.
Yeah. I've watched a lot of LPL, and they've been picking Ezreal a few times, and it's looked absolutely horrific. Now, you convinced me that might be decent, but I'm about to hold that. Nisqy's getting engaged on.
Yeah, let's talk about the Tristanas that are going globally. As Nisqy is just waiting for the ulti. He wanted to run into it. Maybe he thought he could. Yeah. Not going to happen in the end. He knows he has to fight it out. The claw's out. The buffer eventually comes through. Severing Bolt out of range. As you said, the fleet is important. It dodges again, Nisqy. A fancy man in fancy shoes. He should die eventually. Severing Bolt was dodged, but I respect the hustle as mid-turret goes down for it, and bot push is going in as well.
So much time bought by Nisqy, dodging every single spell, dragging out a play that should take 5 seconds into 20. And they're going to get a crashing down bot side as well. Well played by Nisqy, but still, positive play for Fnatic.
Man, something in me just now feels like a bit of a Nesquik. Getting a little bit thirsty here after watching that. Look, his side lane pressure's been huge. Irrelevant playing off the other side as well. Gold shortens again. Yes, KC BDS after this. But let's get through this one as well. The battle for first place, the best team in Europe right now.
Isma's alone. This could be a play. I think Isma
There
might
is
be
a
dead
knockup,
here.
as you said. Ulti is available though. He bramble smashes, he
Phase rush?
buys time, and the phase rush comes in handy, but Nature's Grasp is even handier. Used in front of a dragon that doesn't exist for another 2.5 minutes, and Baron might be up, but again, well watered by SK.
SK is surviving a lot of plays on the side lane, a lot of picks, but there's the phase rush on Nisqy sidesteps and movement, and it buys them time to crash waves, and slowly Fnatic, whilst they're committing a lot of numbers to different plays, they're bleeding out waves on the side lane. It was bot last time, now it's a few minions top for Oscar. But all in all, not too much happening, and it really is about buying time for Rahel here. Where we see Ezreal come online globally at the moment, it really does feel like it's 3 items. 3 items feels like the breaking point where you see, okay, this Ezreal's doing a lot of damage. So it's not quite about the Maromount and Triforce, but for this front to back, alongside this AP Maokai, it definitely is 3 items.
And we got to remember as well, it's a variable range, right? You got a lot of cooldown on things like Arcane Shift at this point in the game as well. Like, that's 7 seconds, I think, from what I could see too. So already back up and available as you use it to get closer towards mid lane. It's things like that with the Tristiana ever scaling range too that SK are going to have in their arsenal. And you talked about it in draft as, let's go again, give it to me. Come on.
바텀 차이.
Bottom chai.
Bottom chai.
Okay. Is
Bot
it a
gap.
bot gap, you think?
Is it a bot gap?
I mean, it's pretty
Ooh,
even.
It's
hard.
pretty even, yeah, isn't it? Noah's doing really well. I think the Ezreal is yet to come online, and that might inflate his stats even further. So, Rahel.
I love this, by the way. I absolutely
Yeah,
love
I do
this.
too.
I wish we did this more in the LPL as well, because I know no Mandarin for like League of Legends at all. I know Sha, which is kill, and that's it. Like Wuxia, you know, pentakill.
Pentakill.
That's all I know. But I'm glad. Bottom chai. Is it a bottom chai? As you said, Ezreal 3 items. We've got lethality, Varus, and 2 and a bit as well. I feel like both Fnatic and SK are in a position where their AD carries can pop off and carry the fights.
Yeah. My only concern for SK is the fact that their front line is definitely nothing compared to a Xin Zhao K'Sante. AP Maokai
Yeah.
isn't quite the same. You're playing more so for poke, and you need that AP threat alongside the front to back of the double AD. Braum is quite tanky, but K'Sante and a Sundered Sky, Xin Zhao absolutely clears in terms of front line. So it's going to be much harder for the carries to DPS, and that's why at this point in the game, the 2 dragons for Fnatic, I favor them. But all that matters is the next upcoming fight. Item thresholds and execution for this front-to-back team fight on
20
both
seconds.
sides.
20 seconds coming through would lead to soul point for Fnatic. Everyone's thinking they're the best team. We go blue. Windows! Windows, it's getting bluer! Oh no, SK are taking over the game! Oh, less blue. Less blue. Windows 95 had to restart, ladies and gentlemen. It's like a blast from the childhood. SK, they wanted to highlight. Maybe something bad happens. Maybe it's the top play that made it go blue as irrelevant. Hysterics has already popped, and as he gets popped around, he's just dead, but they committed TP for that. So Fnatic are looking top side of the map.
Committed TP, committed ulti by Oscar. Are they going to go onto Baron here? But they don't have the gas, they don't have the damage. It's lethality, Varus. This is kind of slow. I don't see this commit working out.
Your favorite word.
Nisqy's playing off of the time it will take to do the Nash by taking bot tier 2 before TPing as well.
And they've got poke, right?
so
Ezreal's
slow.
So good at poking down, whittling down those health bars. Nisqy, as he pushes that inner turret down bot side, it's going to be matched by Humanoid, but as he shows up as well, the Baron is pulled off of. Isma's coming through, trying to stop the ports. He's got Nature's Grasp as Nisqy feels unstoppable. He can move to the mid lane after this as well. All 4 members of Fnatic outside of Humanoid are still up top lane.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like a macro chai right now. They,
Nice!
the tier 2.
You're
I'm learning. Playing off the tier 2 down bot side. Huge macro player, but a blunder from Fnatic. Not identifying that the Varus with lethality is going to mean a very slow Nash take.
Macro shy, okay, all right. I'm going to get a lot of DMs after this, actually. I'm happy for you to message me and teach me more Korean. I'm okay with that. I like that their alphabet, by the way, apparently was like remade or something, and it's super easy.
Apparently you can learn it in like a day.
Yeah, Orcs was telling me, Orcs is really good, by the way.
I don't get how that's possible, to be honest.
But hey, I learned a 10-minute video on YouTube and I found out how his dredge line is going to take more than 10 minutes to start this playoff. Rahel takes a bit of a poke, but Arcane shoots back in position. It's the Fisher that comes out afterwards that tries to clear the way, but Fnatic will not be dissuaded. Razork after the play as well, sends out the crescendo and now just burns down the jungle of SK. Fnatic running through mid. True Shot Barrage is a good dissuader as well, but as Razork gets into position, and the same from Oscarinin, they're still burning the mid at all. Nisqy's angle is the only thing to save them, and Rahel as well. What the hell indeed, as they pull their play back. Fnatic now losing members. The Severing Bolt is a big help with Humanoid. And Noah on the side. The range is good. Numbers advantage for Fnatic. They're clearing out vision on Baron, but they don't have the health bars to do this.
Fnatic with the successful siege into mid. Isma gets absolutely popped with the chain CC. He absolutely vanishes. Nisqy gonna pick up a consolation prize in the mid lane, but in the end it's a 2 for 2. And Nisqy coming out on top, picking the perfect time to join the fight with the rocket jump. But again, really nice play from Humanoid as well with the snipes.
Yeah, mid and bot are popping off. I mean, it is so close. It's 2 dragons apiece. Gold is even. Look at this defense again, Eragon.
Watch Isma's health bar. He pops from about 1,000 HP, he disappears. And then watch Nisqy, he's very patient. He's extremely patient. He doesn't jump in immediately, he waits for specific cooldowns to be down. Ulti comes down from Hwei, picks his moment now, finishes off, almost doesn't get the reset. I think he managed to get on Jun in the end. No, it's Oscarinin, and doesn't get the chain the kills. Recovery from SK, but a nice initiative play.
Oh, it blew again. Again, when SK lose, guys, if the screen's going to go blue, they're not happy at the play coming through. Spiraling Spare, Nature's Grasp as well. It sets us up. The range is coming through from Rahel, though, which is good. It once again dissuades Fnatic, but whoa! Luon flashing away because Noah's also in the picture. Fnatic back away once again while Nisqy tries to play sides once more.
It's Nisqy versus Oscarinin on the side. Can Oscar hold the Tristiana? Tristiana is so damn strong at this point. He has the Last Whisper completed. He can melt Oscarinin if he gets uptime on him. That's why Fnatic are making these plays. They're oversending numbers because they know they lose side lane here versus Renekton versus Tristiana. They have to send numbers mid, try to force a pick using them, but then they bleed out inside.
Luon is looking for prey. Isma alongside with him as well. Waves pushing in at 28 minutes. Nothing decided here. Nothing given over. Maybe except for Baron Vision, which is cleared out by SK thanks to the push and pull. That happens naturally in Summoner's Rift. They're going to back off using this timing as well after Rahel pushes this wave. And Eragon, it might just be the play for Soul Point here that could help start deciding this game.
Now the question is, what do SK decide to do? Do they decide to play for top tier 2? That's an easy objective. And give up the soul, or do you try and play for both with the tower damage that you have?
Well, what do you think they should do? Tell me.
I think top tier 2 for now, maybe until soul spawns. You can play to strong side top. Unfortunately, though, Nisqy is going down bot side, so maybe he's going to push and roam to Baron, because that's the main objective of now. It's just about utilizing those 6 scrubs.
Oh, Gold has been neck and
that
neck.
Gold diff.
Swung. It's not neck and neck, you know what I mean? It's swung back and forth.
Between 3K and 1K.
And look, you look at the dragon as well as Isma walking in blind over the wall. That range is coming in handy. And look, Noah from the downtown helps Humanoid. He has been so good on this Varus. I'm starting to realize the bottom div as Fnatic now with numbers and no enemy jungler can look at this Baron. That's a monster pick.
But they have no Baron damage. Remember, it's the same as
said.
before. They've got to keep playing for these turns, but SK don't need to check. The Baron is very slow, and Fnatic just keep having to force. But look at the side lanes. They're against the clock here. Top lane tier 2 is going to get taken, like we said.
Hysterics down for Razork.
And they're going to try and collapse on Nisqy here.
He pushes in, he moves away. Pink's still going down. I mean, he's got a TP away, Eragon, otherwise he's dead.
Yeah, now they can turn it on to Nash, can't they? He's teleported up to Nash. They have the damage, double AD carry, and Tristiana actually does do damage. 3.5 items.
Because Dragon's
That's
up.
going to get shredded.
And you thought, oh, Fnatic going to start it. SK pull off it. Not as confident to just start it up, are they?
So much posturing. Dragon already started up. SK no. Or at least they think it. They're going to start it up now. Nisqy does a bunch of DPS. Can they turn? Luon can tank any kind of engage from the hook from Jun.
Okay, Jun's in first though, but he has wards on him right now. Isma's now respawned too. True Shot Barrage trying to tag out as Noah avoids his TP, making it a 5v5 around the Baron to decide who's the best in this West as Fnatic look for the disengage now, but the Nature's Grasp holds in place. Razork does it again. He tries to dissuade them. The dredge line narrowly missing as that explosive charge blows them to pieces. Fnatic's health bar moving down to half HP. And SK getting the damage advantage, but not a decisive fight.
And in the end, no Baron taken. Dragon is still up, and at most, Razork has lost his ultimate. Still, that's a huge tool for the front-to-back team fighting, and SK might just turn on it again. They have so much damage.
Round 2, as you said, Irrelevant now walking down as well. They've got a ward seeing that Jun and Oscarinin are there. Razork doing the red buff, the TP. Round number 2 begins. Luon zoning them off. It's going down so quick. Razork needs a miracle. When becomes lightning, he gets it! The jungle king of the LEC still got it. Jun running for his life. He survives miraculously, but Nisqy does not. The poke, the range, the Fnatic moves. You ask yourself again, what was that?
Razork with the miracle steal from 2k HP on that Baron, and they're going to convert that into a Dragon as well. SK think they can flex their Warmogs, do multiple re-engages, and force that Nash, but in the end, it's a burger flip, and Razork wins it.
Isma might be his debut year in the LEC, but Razork's been through this party before. And this is the guy that invented jungle dominance. Yeah, let's hear. Let's hear.
썰은 안 치나?
Sudden Anchina. Why are they not FFing?
After that steal, I understand.
I guess I understand. Well, maybe it's opposite. Maybe he's asking himself, why is my teammate not FFing? It's not over though, let's be real. Baron's taken, it's a massive, massive game swayer as we look at the replay.
So they're all full HP because of all the Warmogs, but Aurelion gets CC'd. And that's really bad, so he has to dash out. Now he can't dash in, and Nisqy tries to save the play.
He does.
After Razork with a huge steal manages to take it away. Nisqy dashes forward, and that's the first big blunder I've seen from him.
And if one target gets isolated like that, like the damage from Noah Humanoid combined, that's one-shot territory. And as we've seen multiple plays time and time again, Noah not only having a good start of the split, I think, after he got criticized at MSI, but Humanoid continuing on the track of being one of the best mids in the West too at the moment. And especially when Caps are slumping, it feels like LEC needs him to step up. Fnatic pushing the base and doing a great job of dissuading this turret from standing its ground. Luon, Glacial Fish is there. True Shot Barrage is good. Razork still has the ulti in hand, though. Nature's Grasp is trying to stop them from staying too long. The inhibitor eventually drops, and SK can't get the range, the lockdown they need. They're going to get out of there with their Baron Enhanced recall. The base is in tatters from the Red Bull Baron power play.
And it's the lack of engage coming out. The Maokai ult can just be tanked by the Cassante W.
Ward there, though, Eragon.
Some kind of long chase. They have no teleport flank from behind. I don't think this is possible unless he takes some kind of crazy Hextech portal pathing.
I mean, he's on the minion wave. I think Irrelevant could die. No, okay, they get out instead of making the play.
But it's the lack of engage.
Yep.
Maokai can't engage because of the blocking from Cassante and Oscarinin. And then they have nothing. They can't stop the siege, so it's going to be really rough. They have to have a reason to fight. Maybe this next Dragon, where everyone's corralled into a certain place they can play with a Maokai ult from Fog of War, but that's the only angle I see.
I see a Fnatic charged and ready to go into summer playoffs as the best team. I see a 5-0, a pretty much playoff lock on the horizon, a 4K Baron power play by the way. And from what was early game of this support diff roaming towards mid, has now changed around to Humanoid and Noah playing their range so well. Razork on a staple pick this year that has been so good in Fnatic's hands to give him jungle priority.
And Noah quietly carrying this game, 5-0-4 on the Varus. The outrange from the Varus and the Hwei making it so damn hard to find uptime on these AD carries on the other side.
True.
It really is a range war at this point. But yeah, Noah, silently, I feel like we haven't even mentioned him at this point.
I mean, I had to, of course, especially when he was blasting Luon a couple of times, when also getting those picks onto Nisqy. I think the biggest thing as well, this was one of the bigger tests for Rahel and Luon. You know, this was one of the biggest tests for SK who are charging ahead. Like, wow, Noah and Jun, a bottom lane that cannot be underestimated.
It really is a battle of the bot lanes, isn't it? Battle for the best bot lane in the league. And both bot lanes, very poke heavy.
Oh yeah.
However, now 3 items coming in for Rahel. This is where he really comes online. Can he do work? Can he find the damage? Can they find the uptime? Both questions for both teams, I feel like. The only difference is the front line. I mean, and that is definitely Fnatic favored right now.
He's got 4 as well. The Serralda's Grudge going to help out a lot with some of that spacing, but Rahel has been spacing himself well enough. Also farming up a Storm at this point, 370. Doesn't do any damage. Look at the cooldown reduction. Like, hits a Q, hits a Q, hits a Q. Doesn't matter because Oscarinin's not taking any damage. He gets himself out once again with an Arcane Shift as Luon has to be in front. Chains of Corruption hits max range but doesn't hit as there's a True Shot Barrage as well. They get rid of the Edge of Night. Noah spaces that one out too as well. Teleport coming in.
You can see they're trying to engage with Braum. It is such a dire situation when you're trying to engage with Luon on Braum. They don't have the tools to force the fight and stop the sieges, and Rahel in the meantime.
He's hitting.
You're playing his poke, but you have no engage to close the gap, so you just keep getting more and more poked from Noah. He doesn't miss either.
He's literally got to play dodgeball. Arrow comes out, you know, there's Legolas and there's Gandalf. Like, it is Lord of the Rings, isn't it? It's just a reunion as Rahel's damage is meaningful onto Noah, but it's not going to be enough to seal the deal in front of the Dragon. It's coming up in 40 seconds. Scuttlecrab just secured by Fnatic as well, by the way. They're going to have this one locked down, and it's Soul Point, Hextech Soul, that I think could help define this game.
Poke comp with Hextech Soul, we all know how painful that is. 5v5 I think is on the cards here. Flashes up for every single champion in the game right now. It's all down to execution.
Noah back to Hwei. If SK pull a fight now, it's a 5 versus 4. He's got Hex Gates to come on in, but SK in a choke might find it. Razork's ult's great. Irrelevant doesn't get the way over though, and it's only buying time for Isma's True Shot Barrage. Gets maximum value. There's the range, and for Fnatic, they need to get the AD carry alive, but they can't. Nisqy's cleaning them all up. Rahel's taking a while to die as Razork fully commits. They're left in a 3v3. Humanoid still got a mana bar, still got the range, but Nisqy's still alive. Can he do it? Ulti out, but Humanoid does it better. The lightning follows through. Nisqy survives for now, but the TP to end. Fnatic can feel that burst in their bones.
And Humanoid coming in with the passive proc at the end in that 3 versus 3. The passive proc AoE coming in clutch, saving the fight, and it looks like Fnatic are gonna end.
I mean, Humanoid, Razork, they buy so much time, and Fnatic, when SK have been the new blood to talk about, it's still about this team that's been with us since the very start. The best team in Europe in summer. Say it with me, Fnatic.
What a battle. What a battle. That was so close at every single stage of the game there, from the early game to even that final fight. In the end, it was a 3 versus 3. Humanoid staying around on that 300 HP maybe.
I never thought I'd say bot chai for Fnatic. You know,
really
I thought Luon and Rahel at this point were unbeatable, but a reality check from Fnatic was huge. As it was a close one, it was, as you said, back and forth. But Fnatic, the resilience cannot be understated. As you can vote for your key and play the game at LEC on X, Oscarinin, Humanoid, or Noah. And don't forget, you can pre-register for the pre-sale access tickets to the EMEA Masters and LEC Finals in Munich at lec.gg/Munich or Munich. I don't know how good my German is, but that was probably the exact same as English. You can pre-register, there's a link down below. Our match of the week, done and dusted. KC BDS. They'll be coming up after this, but I haven't been told. We are going to get an interview shortly on stage. I just want to quickly summarize, because I think bot was really important to this, but man, I think both these mid laners played out of their minds.
Absolutely. I think Humanoid, as the team fights started coming in, hello there, I think Humanoid really started popping off. I think Nisqy as well, though, having those insects, there were so many team fights where he was holding the game in his hands. And it was really all Humanoid and Noah.
Bro.
Wow.
Bro, I think the best thing is that skill expression was there, played one of their best games, and it was in the first place matchup, as Laure is now standing by with Humanoid in the Marriott Bonvoy check-in.
Thank you so much, guys. Amazing game from Fnatic and really exciting game overall. Marek, congratulations on taking this one. What is your first impression of the game and how close it was? You were both undefeated, and again, it was really close between the two of you.
Yeah, I mean, it was way closer than we would have liked it. I think in the last fight, I was like really close to dying, and then the game would be lost. So honestly, it was just really lucky for us, I think, in the last fight. So yeah.
I feel like most of the fights came down to close execution and placement and decision making. So maybe through communication, you could feel something different with the way you had to approach everything.
Yeah, basically, I mean, it's really important in this game to get the zone first on the objective. I think we kind of failed on that many times, and they just walked in and we let them. And yeah, that's it.
I know that team's getting ready for the next game, of course. I know that you don't trash talk after a game, you only trash talk before. And yesterday, Nisqy said, invite me to the desk when I win, so I can dunk on Fnatic. So I'm not going to ask you to trash talk Nisqy, because that would not be fair, but what was your impression of SK overall?
I mean, they were better than some of the other teams, I would say. I think they played a lot around mid lane. Maybe, you know, maybe people should learn how to play alone, I don't know. But yeah.
I want to take a look at one of the first moments of the game that actually was really messy and involved you guys and SK. Do we have the replay production? Yes. That was a mess. That was a mess when you look at here. How did you, yeah, the screen is here. How did you guys navigate through all this? Because I feel like it's the kind of invade, when you're there, you're there. You can't back down and you have to make the best of it.
Yeah, so basically we kind of knew that they were going to invade, but we did not know if it was going to be bot side or top side, because they are strong everywhere. We were expecting it to be more bot side, but I guess they went up. I honestly don't know how we won. I think I just had a really good position from the side, and I could just hit them, but it was really close again, so yeah.
You are the first team to qualify to playoffs here with 5 wins on the book and halfway through the season. And I know that there were a lot of learnings, especially when it comes to confidence, that you guys wanted to implement after MSI. How are you when you rate the changes that you wanted to implement into what you would like to be by the end of the season?
I mean, I would say that we are for sure way better now and way more confident than we were last split and at MSI. I think it shows both on stage and in practice. So far it's going really well.
Yeah. Any words on the overall level of the league as the only undefeated team we have right now? I know that the community sentiment is that it's a bit messy, not as good as what we saw in spring. What is your gut feeling on this?
Of the league, I mean, I think in every league there's like the bottom tier teams, right, that don't really play as clean. I think the bottom teams in LCK and LPL are also not that great. So I think overall the top tier teams are like pretty good. And yeah, I mean, I think we can compete with the Asian teams. Maybe not Genji, but the others, I think it's free. I
feel like Genji is complicated for the entire world right now. We'll deal with them later. You're the key player of the game here, Marek. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Any impressions on the way you played today and the champion you were playing once again and how strong it is?
How strong Hwei?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I really like it into Tristiana and when I can outrange the enemy. I think it's pretty strong right now with the new item. It got buffed, so I think it's a good champ.
Yeah, looking for adjustments on the champion. We'll see that later. Marek, thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you.
Congrats on reaching playoffs and winning once again. And we're gonna make a break before coming back for the last game of week 2. It's gonna be BDS versus KC. Stay tuned.
Flashes 2 and Fnatic still chasing through. They take a blast cone, they deceive them, they push over and get first blood. A 1-for-1 is Irrelevant. Goes to Fnatic, but for SK, they're split far between. Irrelevant left on an island.
Look, I got it. Okay, I flash out, just run and drag. Okay. Go there. But these guys, I will wait. They are playing against... Good job, somebody. Like, they are playing against the best fighter in the world. Like, I don't know what the f is going on.
Hey, Laure.
Yeah?
I need a bit of help with styling since I'm new here, and I was wondering if I could show you a couple of outfits.
Yeah, sure.
Amazing, thank you so much. I'll be right back. I'm a porro snack. Get it?
I don't know, man. No, not really.
I don't know, Laure. It's hopeless.
No, it's gonna be fine. Here, let's have a break.
Even the biggest champ needs a break.
Back to the drawing board then, I guess.
Hey, shouldn't you be on stage right now?
Hey, you got a pick. Tom Kent?
What? I was not expecting this.
And a crazy off-meta pick that secured you the win. How did you come up with it?
I just listened to my gut.